You can record and send to us.
Oh, yeah, it's being recorded. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so first of all, before we move forward, please let me use this opportunity to introduce you first of all to the president of IIUM Alumni, because this is IIUM, International Islamic University Alumni Group. So we have our ESCOs. So, and the president currently is our Prof. Bashir Adeni Yomikida. Can you just kindly, Prof? Yeah, Prof, please, can you please introduce yourself? Not so to say introduction, but at least you help us welcome everybody on board. Prof, kindly please.
Let everybody move themselves first, please.
Oh yeah, please, can you all mute yourself, please? Oh, a lot of people are not.
Dr. Mildam, you are not the chief host. You can mute them.
Okay, let me mute them. Yeah. Okay.
Just use the mute all icon.
Give me a moment, please. Let me mute everyone. Yeah, I think we are good to go. Alhamdulillah. So thank you so much, all our pros and all our doctors on ground. So now allow me to call out our Prof Bashir Adeni. Prof Bashir Adeni is our president, so he's on ground also. Please, President, kindly please welcome everybody on ground before we start immediately, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you very much. Let me first and foremost congratulate each and every one of us on the recent success recorded as being the most active alumni chapter in the entire history of IIUM alumni chapters. I give these praises to our executives, past and present. Most importantly, I give it to all our members, our board, who have been very, very supportive with their constructive criticism. Professor Hajara, who also did so much to ensure that we are picked for this award. So the award is to every one of us, former executive, past and present, and the entire member of IIUM alumni. Let me also thank our indefatigable organizing secretary, who has, since we came on board, kept us on our toes. If you look at it, this is going to be the third in the series of our public presentations. And I think we are on the way, and we hope we'll get there by the grace of God. I want to thank Professor AIBINU, who is the Vice-Chancellor of our own university. When I say our university, Professor AIBINU knows what I'm saying. For being consistent. He just finished the KU8 conference in Lorry within the week. So I want to thank you so much. And I want to appreciate everybody, because this period, because for those of us in Nigeria, it's a very challenging one. For you to have squeeze your time to get data, to also be prepared to do this. Honestly, I must appreciate us. So without wasting much of our time, I want to say that let's keep our eyes on, our ears clear to listen to one of us, proud alumnus of the International Islamic University Malaysia, who is also the Vice-Chancellor of Summit University, Professor MUSA AIBINU, as he delve into an aspect that will assist each and every one of us. Once again, to the Board of Trustees of our esteemed chapter, I thank you so much. Distinguished senior professors, I can see Professor Professor Abdul Kabir and others. I thank you so much. And those of us in diaspora, thank you so much for your support all along. So once again, I welcome us to this very important program as I hand over to the Organizing Secretary. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. Thank you so much, Prof, for the fantastic welcoming speech. Yeah, thank you. So I think without further ado, we wouldn't want to waste our time because I was so impressed when I came on board. I think I came like a minute before the time, and I found that we have a lot of people on ground already, which is really very commendable. So in that sense, we should not waste much of our time any further. So before I call upon our today's speaker, please allow me to briefly introduce our prof to you. So I won't be able to be reading all the profile because it's a lengthy one. You know, that is something that is really expected of him. He has achieved so much. He's somebody that we are emulating and somebody we are praying to be like. So on that note, I'll be briefly introducing him. So our today's speaker is Professor ABIODUN Musa AIBINU. He's our own. He's one of us. So he also, he was one of the IIUM students, and now currently is one of us, one IIUM alumni. And of course, Professor ABIODUN Musa AIBINU is an acadopreneur. So somebody who is, because that is actually what almost all the universities are clamoring for, are asking for, are encouraging us on, to make sure that our academics, our professorships, our doctorates, all the programs we are doing, our research, we can take them out there and come out with something that is, of course, like we have to link it, all our works, we have to link them to entrepreneurship. So that is what our prof is doing, and he's an highly motivated, career-driven achiever. So our prof has been working for over 24 years in the field of mechatronics engineering, autotronics, avionics, and information and communication technology, telecommunication and engineering, teaching and research. So that is those are what we know our prof for. Presently, our prof ABIODUN Musa AIBINU is the Vice-Chancellor, Chief Executive and Academic Officer at Summit University of which is in Kwara State, Nigeria. So he's equally a professor of mechatronics engineering at the Federal University of Technology, Minna, Nigeria. So equally, to conclude, our prof also is having a lot of collaborations, research works with Malaysia. So currently, so thank you so much, Prof. I will leave this for Prof to please take us through. You know, if you are in academics, and even when we were students also, so it is very paramount that we find a way to find a research grant, because you know how important the research is in our case where we are. Research is something I don't want to even take you through the importance of research in a society, in any society that is wishing to grow. So research is very much needed, because that is what actually solves the problem of any problem that you can even think of. So, and in that case, if you are talking about research, you will definitely be needing some funding, some grants, some finances. So in that case, so today we thought, ESCOs just thought, who should we now give this topic to? Somebody that can take us through. How do we write a convincing? Because for me, I usually say, if you want to write any research proposal whatsoever, to get grants or to get scholarship or to get admission, it's something that is very, very much related to marketing. You have to market yourself. You have to pitch yourself. You have to be convincing. So that is why we are bringing our prof on board, because he has a lot of experience. How do we write a convincing, award-winning research grant? Thank you so much, Prof. Without further ado, I leave the floor to you. Thank you, sir, for your presence. And thank you, everybody, also, for your presence.
Thanks a
So,
lot.
Prof?
Thanks a lot, the moderator and the secretary. Yeah, before I start, let me acknowledge my employer, who is also the Oga Patapata here, Professor Mikudon. So you are really doing wonderfully well, and let me congratulate.
Sorry.
Members of this association for the recent award. To my audience and everybody, good afternoon, good day to each and every one of us. I'm sure in Malaysia we are around 5:49 p.m. So Salaman Patan. And to those of us in Nigeria, Salama Pagi, and to other people around the world, Salama everything and anything. So kindly allow me to share my slide. And like, how many minutes do I have? How many minutes?
Oh, about an hour, Prof.
Okay, that's
usually
excellent.
We don't give a time limit, but let's make it like that for now.
Yeah, okay. I will be speaking for 50 minutes so that I can leave time for question and answer, so that we can have time to interact. So kindly allow me to share my slide.
I'm making you the host now.
Is there no way we can actually have co-host? Because we need someone to
I might be needing to mute some people.
Yes.
Is there any? Okay. I'm not sure if it can be co-hosted. Okay, you may continue. I'll try to see how.
Okay, fine. Okay. Let me see. We should be able to have more than one host. Okay. Let me assume that you are seeing my slide. Let me assume. Okay.
Yes, Prof. We have. Yes,
okay,
Prof,
fine. So today I will be talking about developing a globally competitive award and winning research grant proposal. If you can develop one, then you can develop as many. So let's just take note of one, and then from there we can be able to undo other ones. So this is just a brief introduction about me again. I'm ABIODUN MUSA AIBINU. I'm presently the Chief Executive and Academic Officer at Summit University of Kwara State. And then this is what I do. Ajia, kindly allow me to make you the co-host. We need someone on standby that will be muting people. If not, we may not
it will be so disturbing. I wouldn't know how to make it a
make host. Okay. Okay, you are now the host. So just click on my own name and you allow for screen sharing. That's just what you have to do. So as the host, just allow me to share my screen or go to setting. You should be able to
allow to multiple, allow him. But it seems that you are sharing, right?
No longer sharing the screen.
Because okay. Okay.
So just look at it. Just allow for screen sharing.
Just a moment.
Yes. Okay, because we need to be muting people. If not, it may become noisy. Okay, so please, I'm presently the Chief Executive and Academic Officer at Summit University, Nigeria. Summit University is a privately owned university, domiciled at Kwara State, and especially at heart of Kwara State in Nigeria. We pride ourselves regarding innovation and invention, and we are working towards being a research-intensive university. Okay.
So, Prof,
Maybe
I'm now the host, and I think you can share the screen. Yes, I've allowed.
Yes, I can share my screen. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can you please help us mute others? Okay, this is what I do presently. I'm into mechatronics, acadpreneurship. That is, how do we transform all our academic ideas into business and business ventures? And I'm into artificial intelligence, that is the transfer of intelligence in man to machine. And I'm also into spiritual intelligence, that is adaptive use of religious and spiritual information for everyday problem solving. That is what spiritual intelligence is all about. And I'm also into virtual, borderless, and distance learning. So that's just a brief about me. As I mentioned before now, at Summit University of Art, we shall be developing innovations and inventions that will be changing the way we live in our communities. We defend our nations and work in Africa. And that's why you will see us talking about artificial intelligence, innovations, inventions, and the rest. So at Summit University, we also we develop the capacity of our students. And we can tell you that we are producing what is called industry-fitted graduates or industry-ready graduates. Let me say I'm not part of Gen Z, but I'm part of maybe post-baby boomer. But let me adopt part of the trending thing in Gen Z, that Buga small. So Buga is a local slang for tell your story. So this is just an highlight of number of grants I've won in the last 10 to 11 years, but yeah, so this is up to 2021, and last year, 2022, 2023, just even this year, I can say we are proud of 2 new grants. So on yearly basis, that's just what we do. This is just to show you or to tell you that I'm going to be talking from experience point of view, not that what I read or what I've read only. I will be sharing what we have been doing and how we have been doing it. So just when you look at the first amount there, 220,000 naira. So that's a pointer to one thing. We must learn how to start small. 220,000 naira as of that time was less than, let's say 1,000 USD. That was the beginning. Don't forget, 1,000 steps start from step 1. From 1,000 USD in 2013, within a period of 8 years, that is around 2021 or so, we were able to apply. Most of our grants now around that on 150,000 USD, 400,000 USD, and so on and so forth. The whole idea I want us to learn from that is that we must learn how to start small, but have focus on scaling higher or scaling big. So that's just to show you. So we are here today for one major thing, which is how we can win or develop globally competitive. What's the meaning of that? It means that the competition is not about that person sitting in the same department with you or sharing the same 4 walls of a university with you. No, it's not about global competition. So before I start, let me just go with us with these keynotes. That is, I want us to take your pen and paper. We have 1 minute to do that. Once you are set, let me know. The first thing is, I want us to write it down so that it will not write it down, because we are talking about global stage. We are no longer talking about winning local grant and rest. So take your pen down. The first thing you need to know is that innovative fusion. That is, you need to seamlessly blend your ideas with the world's pressing challenges. Now we are talking about food security. Some years ago, it was about energy, and it's still about energy. And then about 2-3 years ago, it was about global restriction. Now we are talking about food security. So please take note, whatever you must write. We are talking about gender and inclusiveness. So the first thing you need to know is that whatever you need to do must be addressing global challenges. Number 2, which I want you to take note, is you must stay ahead. Stay in tune with international research trend. Don't just be watching African magic. There's nothing bad in watching African magic, but you need to also be listening to international news. You must stay ahead. You must stay ahead. Stay in tune with international research trends. I've mentioned for anything now, you must talk about artificial intelligence, you must talk about gender, you must talk about energy, you must talk about food security. Stay ahead. That's number 2. Stop using, there is no way we are going to be using, if we continue to use the same approach our teachers or lecturers used to then when they were teaching us, then we are not preparing for today. Neither are we preparing for tomorrow. So the second thing is you must stay ahead. Number 3, collaboration. You must collaborate across disciplines, across fields. Collaboration. Stop hiding. It's not about keeping it to yourself again. Collaboration. That's the third thing you must open your mind to collaborate with colleagues in your department, colleagues across in your faculties, colleagues in your university, colleagues in other universities in Nigeria. Even start with your geopolitical zones. In Nigeria, how many of us if you are in University A, how many universities do you have in your political zone that you are collaborating with? Again, if you cannot collaborate with colleagues in your department, then how will you be able to collaborate with colleagues in other departments in that same university with you? Talk less about other universities. Number 4, concrete methodology. You must learn that for you to write a globally competitive research proposal, you must have concrete methodology. Number 5, you must learn how to tell your story. It's not just about the why, the hex. You must say it, you must tell your story. That's why we have social media now. The whole thing is changing. You must not lie to yourself. You must lie to the funding agency and to the readers. So you must craft a compelling narrative why your work must be funded. It's now about storytelling, number 5. And then number 6, if it's about globally competitive research proposal, then you must talk about impact behind your university. That is, we call it impact behind borders. What's the meaning of that? It simply means don't just think locally again. How does your proposal impact globally? What ripple effect will it have on bigger scientific landscape or the society? Most of us have been talking about triple helix. No, it's no longer about triple helix, but now it's about quadruple helix. Again, quadruple helix. Academia, number 1. Number 2, industry. Number 3, government. And then number 4, the society. That's when you are developing your proposal, think about quadruple helix. Not Not about triple helix again. Please, not about triple helix, about the impact beyond borders. You must think along those four entities: government, academia, industry, and the society. Number 4, we call it wordsmith skill. That is, you must be precise and concise and at the same time write impactfully. Concise, precise, and impact. Number 8. Hello, are we all there? Can we type yes if you are there? It's what you call feasibility and CV. Feasibility yes, and CV. Yes, it's sir. No longer about don't let Dr. Lagbaja or Professor Tamodu knows about what I'm doing. Put it on your social media handles, your CV. Don't just have CV, one CV, the one you have only for promotion. That was like now, if I'm in at FUT, the only CV I have is that CV that have been designed for promotion exercise at Federal University of Technology or at Summit University. No! Is your CV online? How feasible are you online? How many social media handles? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on Medium? Are you on do you have a kid number? Do you even have YouTube channel as a lecturer? Do you have Google page, Google citation? Most of us have been forced to go to Google Scholar or citation because of promotion. No. Have your social media handles, LinkedIn, Twitter, and the rest, and be mindful of the content. If you really want to know whom you are, type your name on Google right now and press search. For the first 15, will you see anything about yourself there? That's feasibility. The same way that we normally look ourselves in the mirror after dressing, that's also how we must always, every day, do what is called internet dressing or internet mirror. That is, when you put my name, when you search for my name on Google or search engine and the rest, what are you going to see? And for the first 15, 20 outcomes, will it have my name? So your feasibility is so much important. So those are just the 8 things I want us to know. So crafting a globally competitive proposal is not a sprint. It is a marathon. It's not just about 100 meters. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. Marathon of what? Dedication. We are still going to get there. Dedication. It's just like an Olympic game. You cannot just come to Olympic for the first time without practicing, without anything, and win a gold medal. No. Whoever is going to win a gold medal or so, you will have seen the antecedents and you will have seen the history. It's about marathon of dedication, marathon of ingenuity, and hard work. Hard work. And it's a learned skill. You have to learn it. I'm a PhD holder, doesn't have anything doing with grantmanship. By mastering this element, you are not just writing a proposal, but you are positioning yourself to make a significant impact on the world of research. It is on this note I say, let's start the presentation. I'm going to pause a little bit for the first few minutes to take your question. Just type your question. Yes. Oh, okay, feasibility as in VIS. That must have been a spelling error there. Thanks a lot. Feasibility and CV rather than feasibility. Yeah. VISIB. Yes. Thanks a lot. However, we are still going to talk about that feasibility there because your proposal must always address that, how feasible it is. So please let me allow for question. Just type the question. Don't unmute yourself. Just type. Type. Your feasibility of proposal is also important. Yes. Please, let's just have 1 or 2 minutes for question and answer. Thanks a lot for the observation, Professor Stephen. So please, if you have any question, let's just take 1 or 2 minutes before we start. Okay, question. Okay. Okay, there is a question here that regarding the CV, must it always be academical oriented? I'm going to answer that with a straight answer, no. Your CV must be responsive. The CV must be based on the call. Just like you are applying for a position, you don't just have one CV for all positions. No, you make your CV to be responsive. So based on the call, like now, if I am applying for grants in clean energy, in my publication list, I will let it address clean energy. I can now have another section, other publications. Other publications. Okay. Can we, okay, now another question here about, okay. Can we have the PowerPoint sent to us, please? Yes, the PowerPoint will be available immediately after dotting the I's and crossing the T's after this presentation. So, thank you. Kindly give an example of concrete methodology. Okay, we are going to be addressing that in the main talk. We are yet to start. What I just want you to take note as of now is just key take home. Can we have an example of a proposal that has been successfully accepted? Yes, but you will be doing injustice to yourself if you are a proposal that has been accepted or successfully implemented 4 years ago may not be relevant now. Even from the style and dress, there is evolution. For positive mindset towards grant writing. Okay, the positive mindset is that, as I've said, I'm not Gen Z, but let me use the slang. You must have mind to eat breakfast. They will serve you breakfast a la carte. Gbogbo wa la máa jẹ breakfast. Yeah, irú breakfast a máa jẹ ló yàtọ̀. Under grantmanship, the success rate is less than 5 to 10%, meaning that for every 20 proposals you write, likelihood is that you will get 1. So the other 19 are breakfast. So you must have mind that you may just wake up and after working for 1 month on a proposal and you hear we are sorry that your submission is unsuccessful. What are the high impact publication? Okay, they are those ones that are ISI rated. So I am still going to be addressing that as we move on. To what extent is previous research knowledge skill relevant in grant proposal writing? Very relevant. That's why I've advised you start small. Look for your alumni or those who are nearby companies. Let them even give you a grant of 100,000 naira. Use all those ones to build your story. Everybody want to, nobody will want to drop money in an ocean or drop his water in an ocean also. So everybody wants solution. Yes, even someone said, even in publishing, breakfast are served. Yeah, exactly. So positive mindset. Breakfast, you need that. And again, I've said marathon of dedication, ingenuity, commitment, response. So must one wait for a call for an agency before sending a grant? There are 2 types of grants: solicited proposal and unsolicited proposal. If time permits, we are going to get there. So let's start. Thank you for your question and contribution. Prof, I am very grateful. Doctors, I'm very grateful. Other participants here, I'm also very, very grateful. for your feedback. How do we search for grants? I'm going to address that now. So let's start with understanding academia. Academia is the part of society, especially universities, connected with time that is connected or responsible with studying and thinking. And majorly, they are into three things: knowledge generation, knowledge dissemination, and knowledge application. Again, knowledge generation, knowledge application, and knowledge dissemination. Knowledge generation involves the act of acquiring knowledge in order to develop one skill, habit, as well as quality. Part of what we does the act of acquiring knowledge, as we are doing today, is part of what we call knowledge generation. A structure, it can be structured, and there can be an unstructured one, but it has to do with acquiring relevant knowledge. Yes. And then we also have what is called knowledge dissemination. Knowledge dissemination. Knowledge dissemination is just making knowledge, simply means knowledge is available to those who need it. So, and that's the transfer of knowledge within and across setting. That is what we call knowledge dissemination. And then knowledge application is when available knowledge is used to make discussion, decision, and perform tasks through directions and routine. That is knowledge application. That is, how can we use our dy/dx to solve societal problem? That is what knowledge application is all about. So in academia or in university, that's what we mostly do. So community service and less or corporate social responsibility all comes under knowledge application. Again, part of knowledge applications or knowledge dissemination and less has to do with grantmanship. Grantmanship. What is grantmanship? Grant writing is a learned skill. Again, grant writing is a learned skill that is totally different from I have PhD in engineering or mechatronics or no. The writing grant application and manual of procedure that get approved, you need to learn that skill. Writing manuscript also that gets published in peer-reviewed journal is also a skill. That's why if you are used to, after shopping breakfast enough, you may still not have the skill if you don't go and learn the skill. So that's where at times we normally recommend postdoctorate for some people, that when you go there, you go and learn how to do that thing better. So I am going to start with this. Please take your pen and paper. Any sentence or statement that is bold there, can someone help me type it again on the chat box? Or can you help me type that on the chat again? Any statement, sentence, or phrase that has the largest font size. Can we type it? Please help me type it again. Okay. Yes, I can see. Sorry if I call you without your title. Jimmy. Grantmanship. Yes, I can see people. Okay. Grantmanship. Okay, someone is saying I can't see the screen. Okay. But mostly I can see here people typing. Let me read. Grantmanship is a full-time job. That's it. Grantmanship is a full-time job, meaning that marathon of dedication, commitment, and the rest. And you cannot do it half-mindedly. is a full-time job. It's a full-time job, and it's a marathon, not a sprint. Grantmanship is a full-time job, and we learn it. So that's it. What we are doing now is part of our learning process in order to be in order to have what is called good grantmanship skill. Now, what are the characteristics, or what does good grantmanship entail? Number one, knowing what to do and how to do it, and being willing to do what is necessary. It's not an issue of ever be managed like that. Manage it like that, sir, because you are competing globally. In 1996, Nigeria won the Olympic gold medal. And have we ever been able to repeat that again? No. Go back and look at the history of that team. From Maroc, from Algeria, unless they have won African World Cup and dress. Then that now leads to what is called that Olympic. So it's about being willing to do what is necessary. Moderator, please. Okay. Moderator, please help us mute. Okay, thank you. So being willing to do what is necessary, and doing what is necessary at the right time. That's what grantmanship is all about. And then understanding the funding agency, mission goals, and understanding that your work will be peer reviewed. Peer review. That is, those who are in your field, those are the people that will definitely read your work. Again, good grantmanship involves collaboration. Someone have said it. Sorry again if I don't include your title. Please, I was told that the slide is no longer visible. Can you confirm that?
I think it's only from her. Is it her or him? Because we cannot see.
Thank you.
Maybe you go out and come in again. Maybe you just log out and you re-log in. So sorry about that.
Okay, please, thanks. Yeah, okay. So grantmanship, as someone mentioned in the chat, okay, thank you, it requires collaboration. Collaborate with other investigators that will fill gaps in your expertise and training. Don't do just add me to your team, sir. No, you must tell us what you are bringing to the table. And then when you collaborate, it will allow you to add critical skills to your team, and not just about me manager. And it is about team science. That's the new direction. Again, when you do your draft, show it to your colleague, to other colleagues of yours. And then I normally like to do one thing. I normally like to show my draft application to that colleague of mine that I know that we normally call home and beef me. Because home and beef, if we want to prove to you that you are not good, and it will help you turn your proposal left and right and pick all the faults for you. But when you show it to that friend of yours, that is very close to you, that friend of yours will not help you read it thoroughly. So always remember, show your draft application to a colleague who is not your best friend. Again, show your draft application to a colleague who is not your best friend. Again, your draft, you need to understand that your work will be reviewed, and then if they don't get it approved again, you must revise your application. Don't ever throw it away, and always leave enough time to make revision and review. Lastly, for this app, please take your paper again and your pen and write this simple rule down. And this one is so important that once you understand it, you have the, I can say, you have the right skill. Are we ready to put it down? We have 3 rules. We have 3 rules, only 3 rules. Type yes if you are ready to put it down. That's the ní ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn àfáà aláṣìírí àṣírí ta fẹ́ fún yín rè ayọ̀ǹdẹ̀ fún yín ni. a fẹ́ yọ̀ǹda àṣírí yìí. For those who are in Islamic eschatology, Islamic field and the rest, we have what is called àṣírí, and it is called ilimu batini, hidden knowledge. Nọ́kàlí tó sure, àṣírí ni. Owó làwọn èèyàn máa fi ń gbà, but a fẹ́ yọ̀ǹda ẹ̀ fún yín ní ọ̀fẹ́. Is normally you pay. Okay, so I am going to release these 3 simple steps. Number one, put it down. Read the application instruction carefully. That's the àṣírí alákọ̀ọ́kọ́. Àṣírí alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ nìyẹn, ẹ kọ́lẹ̀, ẹ dè mọ́wọ́. Wọ́n fún wa ni. Àwa náà yọ̀ǹda ẹ̀ fún yín lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. Read the application instruction carefully. Read the instruction application carefully. Professor Ishakoye Folaron, thank you, sir. Now, àṣírí ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì, number 2. Number 2. Àṣírí mẹ́ta ni alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ nìyẹn o. That is the first one. Number 2, read the application instruction carefully. Ó di méjì. And ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta, don't forget, read the application instruction carefully. Once you know this àṣírí mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta, yóò ti tán. Bá Magana, end of discussion. 3 simple steps. Read the application instructions carefully, because under that they will have mentioned all what you need to know, or what you must put, or what you must not put, and the rest and the rest. So once you understand this, then we are good to go. So at you release àṣírí fún yín bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, and that's the beginning. Read the application instruction carefully. Print it, scrutinize it, call your students, call your colleagues, turn the application instruction left and right. Like in Tech Fund now, concept notes, you have been told that it should not be more than, not more than, the word is not more than 1,500 words. That means if you put 1,501, you are out. The budget is 50 million. You are not expected to quote above 50 million. Ahead of now, the rule is you must be at this cadre. So, people, it's about instruction. Yoruba will say, irunmu lowo kò ṣeé ṣe kíni o, kò ṣeé fàtú. Ẹni tó lówó dẹ̀ ló lówó. Someone want to give you more money or so and says you must do this, and you are arguing, no, I won't do that. No, you are out of the game. So that's why you must read the application instructions carefully. Now, let's now start on writing. So let me pause for question and answer now. Please, question, type it. Let's do the second round of question. In this section, I've released what grantmanship is all about, and I've also discussed the basic rule of grantmanship. The 3 rules are, number 1, read the application instructions carefully. Number 2, read the application instructions carefully. And then number 3, read the application instructions carefully. And I've also told us that grantmanship is a full-time job. Grantmanship is a full-time job. And I've also been able to establish that if you want to win, it's about team science. And if you really want to succeed, after drafting it and rest, show it to that your colleague who is not your best friend. Thank you. Let me take question before I move to the third part of today's discussion. Please, you can type your question. Àti yọ̀ǹda àṣírí fún yín o. Lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ ni ẹ lè máa lọ lò ó pẹ̀lú yọ̀ǹda àwọn tó fáwa náà. Okay, the slide will be shared after this lecture. Nokali is like an Arabic word or slang for for saying something that is important, and then when you do it, it will definitely work for you. And we need to. So please, yes, please help us mute. Please help us mute yourself, please, so that we will mute yourself. Are concept note different from proposals? Yes, concept note is just short statement, short document. I'm still going to address it here. Short document you write or that contains the whole idea, just like summary of your proposal, and it doesn't go into. So that is concept note. I am still going to share that one here today. I will still talk about concept note. How best? So I need your email address. My email address is on the slide. myBinu@gmail.com or vc@summituniversity.edu.ng. Once you have the slide, but okay, let me. So my email is here, so you can copy it. How best can interdisciplinary approach work in grantmanship, sir? That is the solution. Without collaboration, without interdisciplinary approach, you are not good for grantmanship. It's not just about me. It's not just about you. It's about team science. Together, each and everyone achieve more. How do one select a captivating proposal topic? You start from what comes to your mind and you continue to iterate and fine-tune. And is concept note the same as executive summary? No, they are not. This I will show us. I will discuss concept notes here. Don't worry. Okay. Will the name of the colleague who read through the proposal be included in the team? It's left for you to decide. You can monetize his work and just pay him off. Simple. And you may also need to have language editor and others in your team. So it all depends on you. There is a saying that we should not tell our plan but show our results. How does this relate to? Oh, thanks a lot for calling my attention to that. That was in the olden days. That is not in this generation. Well, there is a saying that we should not tell our plans but show our result. How does this relate to showing our proposal to our colleagues who are not our friend? Won't this open some window of demoralization from them? Number one, some years ago, 10, 20 years ago, when the lady conceived, the whole idea is that don't let anybody know. But now you have to do baby what? Baby shower. See my tummy is now big, it's now 3 months old. This is the trending thing. Are you with me? Show your results. Yes, it's okay. How does this relate to showing it to your colleague? That your colleague is to help you review it. Stop hiding your work. Because that work you are hiding for someone who is next to you here, how are you sure that that person is not a reviewer? Is not a reviewer for the funding agency? So start collaborating. When you show your work, take the feedback with open mind. What the person is saying is that based on the document before me, you have not addressed this, you have not addressed that. Demoralization. I will ask whoever, when you shop breakfast, don't be demoralized. You post it on your status, breakfast number 19 for this month. Mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tún jẹ breakfast kan, mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gba breakfast kan ni. So don't let it demoralize you. Pick the lessons from that feedback. When your colleagues, when they comment on you, it's not about you. It's not about your personality. That your colleague is only commenting based on the document before him or her. Stop taking it personally. It's about the document. Based on your experience with them, after proposal defense, do get back if the work does not go through. Yes, of course, they do get back. Again, once invited for proposal defense, what's the chance of securing NRF? 50-50 or 70-30. Once you scale through to the fact that you have been invited to defend it, the remaining 30% is based on you. That's why you also need to have good presentation skill. Before you go and face NRF panelists, have you presented before your colleagues in your departments? Have you set up a small committee and say, I'm going to NRF tomorrow. Please, not tomorrow, I'm going to NRF next week. I need to present, and they trash you left and right. But ìgbà tó jẹ́ pé a máa ń yọ́ lọ náà ni ẹni tafà sókè tó yí dóborí. Bọ́ba yóò rí títọ̀run wò. So stop thinking that anybody is after you. Ojú ọ̀run tẹ́yẹ fò láláì faragbára. Before you go for any defense, any presentation, always ensure you do mock presentation. Before you organize any event, always have the mock rehearsal. When you see military parade and this, you will so much love them marching in precision, in uniform, they will march very well. That 5 minutes march that we have just watched, they will have been practicing for nothing less than 2 weeks, and they will spend nothing less than 4 hours a day. Despite their work is that thing, yet they will continue to rehearse, to practice. But you believe we put and you are just invited for a small presentation. So normally, when we were in Malaysia, we normally have a rehearsal for your presentation, Koto, face the panel and the rest. Okay, so thank you. Okay, so please, okay, question again. Okay, thank you. So let's now move to the third part of the talk. Okay, introduction to grant writing. Grant writing is a very good thing, very, very good thing. And then it has the fantastic, it can help non-profit organization. You can write it as a student or as researcher. I can boast that even that we have some of our students at Summit University that won their first international grant while they were still at 100 level. And we have some of them that can boast that they published their first review journal paper during their first semester at 100 level in the university, because it's about grantmanship, it's about skill. So normally, this is what you have in a good wait. These are the sections that you may have in a very good proposal. Number one, the cover letter. The cover letter is outside the proposal itself, but always include the executive summary or abstract, the need statements, goals and objectives, aim and objectives, methodology, evaluation, other funding, sustainability information. But the most important thing is that for every call, they will tell you what are those things they want you to write about and what are the sections. If perhaps they fail to mention that, when you look at the application instruction, you can now figure it out. So what I have here is not an exhaustive list. It's just what you may include. Again, the need statement is important. Goals and objectives, they are so much important. Methods, methodology, strategies, they are also so much important. So what is cover letter? Briefly state your proposal is asking for, summarize the program. Keep in mind that it is the first opportunity to connect with the people who can fund your grants. So the cover letter, to me, I normally advise people, and I normally say, you want to ask for 1 million naira from me. Is it bad? Is it not appropriate that you must invest? If you're asking me to give you 1 million naira, invest 5,000 naira or 10,000. How do you invest? Use good quality paper when you are printing even the cover letter. Print it in color. Don't go and make photocopy. Níbi tó ti fi kerosene ṣe, and it now be looking blah, blue, blue, blah, blah, blah. No, invest. As a researcher, there is nothing bad in acquiring what you call tool of trade. Part of your tool of trade includes laser printer, color laser printer in your house. Stop expecting your department to get you that. Stop expecting your university to give you that. Invest in your department. The same way you are investing in your body, buying clothes, buying jewelries, buying this, invest in yourself. Acquire necessary tool of trade. And part of it include double A4 paper when you are printing. Include laser printer as part of your investment. Let me ask us, and I want you to check yourself. As a lecturer, how many books, how many books do you have on your shelf? That those books that are your own personal one? Oh, lè lọlé àfáà tó jẹ́ àfáà gidi kó má bá sọ yìí Buhari 30 kó má boríṣiríṣi books. But we academia or academicians, we don't invest in ourselves and we keep complaining. Lọ go and check any àfáà or imam ní mọ́ṣáláṣí kan nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tó bá wọlé, you will see bookshelf filled with books. Think of yourself. How many books do you have that you purchase them by yourself, or do you have bookshelf in your house? So part of your tool of trade include having a good printer to print the cover letter. And again, your executive summary must be precise, concise, and must summarize the whole document. And you must always have an executive summary. Some call it abstract and less, or summary. But whatever you call it, you must have it. And then the need statement. That is, that's the meat of your grant proposal. Because if you are not solving a problem for me, why do you want me to fund your work? I will not be interested in funding your work if you don't have the need statement. Again, goals and objectives. Having this specific goal and the general objective, you must always include that in your work. Again, you must also be clear on your methodology. It's not just about writing the why the hex. You must write to the funding agency. You must lay it bare, tell your story. And then information about your organization is also important, where you talk about your experience, what you have done in the past, and how you can move forward. Budget. I'm still going to have a separate section on budget because that's another critical aspect. Like you will see people writing 15 million and they will write it as 50 billion. The same way that you must be technical about your methodology is the same way you must have knowledge about finance or financial. So you must be financially literate. So financial literacy is important. We have some courses, so you can take some online course on financial literacy or preparing budget. It's not an issue of I'm into mechatronics, so I don't know money, I don't know anything about financial. No, it's not. It's totally different. Again, always don't forget, check your eligibility, plan with your team, aim, and ensure that you get it. So fundamental of grant searching, grant application searching, okay, you must, first of all, you have instruments, you have Google, you have search engine, and rest. On Google, search for available funding. To me, just look for, if you're in agriculture, look for some agencies that fund work. Just put everything on Google. With ChatGPT now again, you can have the list. And then, based on your subject area, you can even ask Google also to list for you possible funding agencies. And then based on that, you can now look for those who have won all these grants before, start discussing with them. And then again, you must understand that that you must speak the language of the funding agency. They want to fund work on clean energy. Don't be talking about spiritual intelligence with them. They have rolled out the call follow it and speak the language. And then you may have a checklist where you can put what you have done and what are those things you are here to do. So just go to Google and then you can even search like that. So here you have some list of possible funding agency for you to look at. So what are those things that the donors look for? Transparency, impact. That is, if you give you 200,000 naira, what impact will this one generate in the community? Your capacity to deliver and type of budget. So what grant application look for, and my own advice, don't ignore the guidelines. I have said that's Ashiri guideline. Stop writing vaguely and less abstractly, because hello, hello, because you are not the one that's going to fund your work by yourself. So always write to the fund, speak their language, and don't ask for too broad a proposal. Don't make it, I want to solve the energy problem in Nigeria. Solving energy problem, no, that is too vague. It's too broad. You localize it, and then too narrow a proposal also. I want to, so don't let it be too broad, and then don't let it be too brief. And then lack of history. Your CV must show your history, and then negative history is not good. That's why when you are given any amount, you must account for it. And then evaluation plan, always make it, or always even have it for yourself, that how do I think this proposal is going to be evaluated? And then lack of knowledge and skill. Once you are, most of us, we don't have the skill. And that's what we have been saying. The same way, when I was very young, I used to think that, why do people learn how to go and buy and sell cloth ní ọjà Gbági nìbàdàn? Maybe I know those who are producing the cloth. I will just go there, buy, get a shop and sell. But now I now understand that it goes behind that. So that's also what grantmanship is. So you need to have the right skill set. Again, writing proposal is a very good thing that we still need to have separate workshop on that. So let me just quickly agree on the problem. Stop working in silo. Discuss with your mentees or with your mentors. Agree on the problem. Involve necessary stakeholders. You are writing about energy in Nigeria, that you want to solve the clean energy problem, and there is none of the stakeholders is involved with your work. Just about 4 of you in your department speaking your normal Turanci in the academic. No, you must involve stakeholders. I've told us about quadruple helix. Four entities must always be there. Number 1, academia. Number 2, government. Government can be maybe NUC, MBT, or some agencies. Number 3, industry. Industry, just MSMEs, get one on board. And then community. You must be solving that problem, or you must be solving a problem. Define the problem or situation and then the impact. It's not about impact. It's not just about your YDX. And then you must always identify the key outcomes, both in short term and then you must set SMART objectives, that is really specific, measurable, actionable, responsive, and time-bounded objectives and outcome. And you must always measure what you are doing. And you must have a clear methodology about what you really want to do. Also, you must get someone to help you review your work. Don't just assume it is okay. And that's why at times we normally recommend a reviewer or writer, or bring that person to your team. That's why when I normally see those in art or language and this, I normally give them twirly, because we all need them. Those in humanities, social sciences, and rest, we need them. We need an account or someone with knowledge of finance or those who are financially literate in our team. So also we need language expert. So these are, if you need money or you need how to fund your work, you can approach company or some of your alumni and then seek help from friends and family, venture capitalist, angel investor. Crowdfunding is another one, or you dip your hand into your personal saving. Though that one is not what we normally recommend, but search for search online. So I'm going to take the concept note and then we will have another round of interaction. A concept note is perhaps the shortest expression your project idea given on paper to a donor. Normally, maximum 2 to 3 pages. 2 to 3 pages. It's usually requested by the donor in situation where no proposal has been solicited. That's what they call unsolicited concept note. That concept note is to give the person an idea of what the full proposal will all be or what the project is all about. And from the concept note, he or she can now say, go and develop the full proposal. Just the same section we have in full proposal, we also have it in concept note. Introduction, title, and then problem statement, methodology. But you have to just write it very, very brief. And then when you are writing your concept note, you must explain the cause of the problem you want to solve, explain the opportunity, itemize the goal and the objective, explain the uniqueness, and you provide a budget. In this one, it may just be a summary. The work will cost 18,500,000 naira. That's just, they may not ask you to break it down. So a concept note, normally, I would normally advise that you write a concept note even before you start developing the full proposal. So let me allow for question and answer before going to the second to the last aspect of today's talk. So please, let me have your question. Please, how do we get the recording? The organizers will make that one available to us. How can a young researcher with little or no history in terms of grantmanship, apart from his PhD work, make up for history in proposal writing? I am sure before commencing or before starting your PhD, you wrote a research proposal. That is just the same thing. That's an history. That's part of the experience we are talking about. And your PhD work is also a research. And what have you been doing? Provided you develop your PhD by yourself or you conducted all the work and the rest, you will have developed the research proposal. So, and the research proposal or concept note is not the same thing with your chapter 1 to 3. It is misnomer. It's a misnomer. People know. Research proposal is a document you write to commence or do anything along that line. And then that's what you do. So again, after your PhD, what have you been doing? What you have been doing is also called research. So that's one. How can, sir, please can you give an insight on how to meet up with 5Q1 or 10Q2 journal for NRF? Not too difficult. What you just have to do is plan your write-up very well. Once you plan it, you will achieve it. Yes, it's not all proposal writing that require concept notes, not all. But what I normally recommend is that before you develop the full proposal, why don't you try to develop a concept note? From the concept note, you can give it to your friends and colleagues for critiquing and rest. Once they critique it, you now fine-tune and you can now start the development of a full proposal. So how to have 5Q1, just plan your work. Literature review is part of it. The concept, the methodology is also part of it and the rest. If I make a mistake in the writing of one concept note, yeah, is it for NRF or for generally or for general concept notes? Yes. The There's nothing you can always make amendment. You can always make amendments on anything. Just a minute. Just a minute, please. So you can always make amendments. Yes, I'm actually okay. You can always make amendments. Okay, okay. I'm a tourism development expert. I'm open to collaboration. That's very good. We also at Summit University we are also open to collaboration on tourism and professional courses. Okay, please, more questions before we move on.
I think our Prof. Lateef Adeyema is raising his hand. I wouldn't know, maybe you want to speak.
Prof, sir, if you want to speak, quickly unmute yourself and before I take the last part of today's talk.
Prof. Lateef Adeyema, sir, are you there? Because I can see that you are raising your hand.
Yes, I think it's a bit belated. Yes, he must have phrases and maybe almost 30 minutes
for a while,
ago.
yeah. Okay, we may continue, Prof, sir.
Yeah, hope our Imam will not punish me. Okay, thanks a lot, everybody. Now let's move to the last part.
We are enjoying the talk. Thank you so much, sir.
Of the talk. Just a minute. Just a minute. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. Now the aspect we are going to now, just a minute, is about okay, fine. Preparing your research budget. But the same way you write technical input, methodology, and this, that's the same way you have to prepare your budget. Number one, the common mistake, yeah, even what you are seeing on the screen, I can tell you that's the cover page of some of our proposals that we submitted. Can you compare the one on the extreme left to the one on the extreme right? Which one will you want to fund? Is it the one that doesn't have cover design or the one with cover design?
So, the one on the extreme right.
The one with cover design, am I right?
Yes, sir.
So that's the way we package our proposal. Your proposal starts from good packaging, good cover note, good cover design. And then reason for rejection. That's another thing people doesn't know. So basically, we can divide it into three. Number one, technicality, which shall account for 50%. And this one includes the cover page. Most people, as we have the one on the extreme left, no cover design, nobody will ask you for the cover design, but you must know that you need to put that to make it presentable. Now, all those technicality is just 30%. And the scientific representation of facts and literature review and less is just 20%. But financial and budget account for over 50% for proposal rejection. Over 50%. Yet, we are not paying attention to it. And then, what are the mistakes? Common mistakes including exceeding budget limits, addition or multiplication error, just arithmetic error. And then at times, some of us, we don't put justification. Why do you need to buy this? You must always have a column for justification. And some of us, no subsection. We just lump everything together. You must be able to differentiate between capital expenditure and operational expenditure, honorarium, than the rest. There must be subsections. Disparity between objectives, methodology, and financial.
Like in your objective, you have not mentioned to us that you will conduct literature, you will conduct survey at a particular town. In the methodology, it is not there. But in your financial now, you are now putting traveling to conduct survey at IBIDUN. No. And then major component not budgeted for. Like now, you want to work on mobile app development and you want to test it, and you have not budgeted for mobile phone. Come there. Again, how to avoid some of the common errors. It's not just about identifying them, identifying the error. It's about understanding how to solve them. Number one, regarding knowledge, you must have full understanding of what research funding is all about. And how do you solve that? Ó wà ní àṣírí tí mo fún yín ti nọ́kàlí yẹn, wípé read the application instruction carefully. Once you read that carefully, you will have the knowledge about the funding, and then do a background check on the funds provider and on past winners. With a background check, you will be able to solve that. Review previous award and discuss with past awardees. Àwọn tó ti fún rí, when you discuss with them, they will assist you. Number two, understanding and setting record. Be clear about the research aim, objective, and methodology. I have told us that you must have checklists and lists. Keep the scope narrow. You can see skipping the scope narrow can now allow you. That now handle the issue of publication. With narrow scope, you will achieve that target. And then consult financial experts. Once you have, if you don't have financial expert in your team, then pay for it. Yoruba will say, owó la fi ń wá owó. You are asking for 30-40 million, and you don't want to spend up to 500,000 to get this. The next question will be, you are asking us to spend. Where will I get that? Don't forget, invest if you believe. Again, if you believe in yourself, if you believe in your own capability, if you trust yourself, then invest in yourself. Set aside 200,000 or 300,000 every year as seed funding for your research grant. Seed funding for your research grant. That will help. Amount. Estimate how do you solve problem associated with. Estimate the cost as accurate as possible. And if possible, get a quotation. Get a quotation. Now with online shops and the rest, you can have an idea. Convert it to PDF and attach it as, okay, I'm going to buy HPDLC. This is quotation. This is an online quotation about it. Too low budget make the work impossible to achieve and may jeopardize your future chances. And too high budget also may not make the work to be funded. All in all, consult financial expert. Again, hello, help us mute that person, please. Moderator, please help us mute. On the software, you can use Excel sheet even if you don't have accounting software. Just program your Excel sheet very well, and it will assist you to all the minor error will no longer be there. And then use well configured Excel sheet. Again, make sure you vote direct course honorarium appropriately and always understand what you can ask for and how much you can request. So the whole idea is that ask for enough money to do the work. Don't over budget and don't under budget. Moderator, please help us mute people, please. Help us mute. So the whole idea is that you must have reasonable budget. And don't forget, read the application instruction carefully. And understanding this issue will allow you to estimate your costs as accurately as possible. Again, justification. Always provide justification when you are applying for any funding and in your financial section. Summarily, Yoruba will say ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ò kágbọ̀n. Let me summarize what I've been saying so far. Number one, clear objectives. You must have clear objectives for your research work. Number two, your work must establish what you call relevance and significance. Number three, adopt interdisciplinary approach. Number four, have collaborators locally and internationally. Don't just make it international. You cannot collaborate with people in your department. You cannot collaborate with other departments in your university, and you are now running for international collaboration. It's more or less dead on arrival. Why? What you don't have, you cannot give. Number five, innovative methodology. Present a cutting-edge methodology for your work. Feasibility and timeline. Okay. Feasibility here means that how visible it is. How feasible, the feasibility of your project. So that's okay. That was what, how feasible it is. Is it feasible or not? And then social impact. Social impact is so much important. Anytime you are doing, anytime you are writing for proposal. Global reach. Discuss how your research can influence other regions or countries. Showcase a broad perspective beyond your local input. And then publication is important. And then when you are writing, you must presently and now you must understand, you must be culturally sensitive. You must understand all this issue of diversity and inclusion. You must understand it, diversity and inclusion. And you must also understand what is called public engagement. And then future collaboration is also important for your work. And then budget. I've mentioned budget. Budget allocation is important in your work. And then global networks. Always remember, you must collaborate with others. Some few days ago, as our chairman mentioned, or as our president mentioned, universities in Kwara State, we formed a consortium, and sincerely, it has been working for us very well. So we must learn how to collaborate internationally. And then it's about global competitive proposal. Remember, a globally competitive proposal requires meticulous attention to detail. Don't forget we have said this marathon, and an innovative spirit, and a clear focus on the worldwide impact of your research. That is, if you want to write for a globally competitive proposal, then remember, a globally competitive proposal requires meticulous attention. Don't just manage it like that, to details, an innovative spirit, and a clear focus on the impact of your work. So don't just assume that you will write gibberish and you will write jargons, you will prepare 2 days to deadline, and you expect that they will give you their money. Yoruba will say, "O tẹmu lọ́gbẹ́, o tògùrọ̀ lọ́fà, o wá dédé ọ̀pẹ ọgbẹ́ni òkè, ọ̀fẹ́ ní roni, o bẹ́fọ̀ lábàtà ó yẹ bẹ́ẹ̀tì, omi ló mu kú ni." All this, what we are just trying to say with the proverbs, very simple, is that for you to win international proposal, you must be meticulous and pay attention to detail. It is on this note, I leave you with this man. And this man we are seeing there represents you and me. When you look at this man, how many ladders do you think this man really needs in order to look at the other side of the world? How many?
Just one.
Can we type
Just
the
one.
number of ladders? Can we type
Just
it?
one.
How many
Yes.
ladders do we think this man will require in order to see the other side of the wall? Yes?
He needs
May-
just one. Just one.
Just one. Yeah, just one. But this man has more than enough resources, but he doesn't know how to use them. So it doesn't matter how many resources you have. If you don't know how to use them, it will never be enough. This man represents you and me. We have lot of resources with us. We have lot of opportunities. Some of us are taking a class of like 100 students. That means 100 potential innovative ideas. Are we really making use of them? Are we really harnessing them? Most of us, we go to class with one mindset that I'm here to today. And the first thing you do when you enter class, have you ever seen any musician No. Most of us, whenever we are going to our offices, our classroom, the only time you see us smiling is when we are going home. Now, we that have found our face before entering class, do you think learning can take place in that class? Students will just they do mind my business. So now why I do. So the whole idea is that we have more than enough resources, but we are not making use of them. Because we are not making use of them, we will now be talking about Japa. It is time, as Professor Loyede mentioned a few days ago, that let's now try to turn Japa to Jakpada. Let's make use of our available resources. It is on this note I say, thank you for listening, and God bless you all from Summit University of Far. God bless you all from IIUM, International Islamic University, Malaysia, and thank you all. Thank you. Let me attend to question. We can, in order not to make it cloudy, let's type our question, and we can just take one or two via voice. Thank you all. God bless you. Assalam. What is the expected? Okay, the question is that when a proposal is written and you are being asked what will be the benefit to your host community, what is the expected response? The expected response is to say the truth. How will your research impact your community? It's no longer about publication and the YDX now. It's about impact. How will your proposal solve that societal problem? We have different types of research. We have fundamental, we have applied research, we have basic research, we have exploratory research and this. So if your research is not solving, it's not impacting the community, the whole, the society, then something is fundamentally wrong with the research. Because research is meant to solve a problem. What type of problem is it solving? So it's now left for you to put it in the way you understand it. There's another question here that says that as good as for us to invite the financial expert, I think the same should be for inviting other experts of the top. Of course, that's why I mentioned 4 entities: academia, government, industry, and the community. Once you adopt that, it will also address the issue of the impact. Now, expertise, you can be subject experts, subject matter experts. Fine. But don't forget, you are not a language expert. So you may also need a language expert as part of your team. You are not a financial expert. You might also have you may need a financial expert in your team. However, if you don't want to put them in your team, you can consult them and pay them for their service or services. Do you have any updates on the latest NRF call? Yes. Very soon, the result of the concept note will soon be announced, and those who will be asked to submit the full proposal, you will see it on your dashboard. I think in the next 1 or 2 weeks, you should be having that. Sir, is it correct to include research tool of trade in budget? I will say yes, because you need it, like e.g. now. Let me share one with us. You are conducting a research in Nigeria that needs 24 hours of electricity for the process to complete. You are sure NEPA can never give you 24 hours as at today in Nigeria. Then you need generator. With the cost of fuel now, generator may not be a very good option. That means you may need to have solar battery inverter. So that solar battery inverter, you have to budget it and include it as part of your budget. Now, what you just want to power is a system that will run the experiment. And you have budgeted for 3.5 kVA inverter. Àwọn ará department they will also benefit from the solar. That's part of impact. So in that case now, what you have is you have to budget for that solar system as part of the tools needed for the work. Thank you. So there is nothing bad in including that. Suppose one won a grant and the project could not be delivered to specification due to, for example, a change in economic situation or change in budget. What will be the penalty? Sir, can you please enlighten us? Normally in Nigeria, number one, first thing is to play it safe. Whenever you are mobilized for any research grant in Nigeria, if it is Naira grants, that is, the payment will be in Naira. The first thing I will always advise you to buy all the tools, all the equipment you need. Don't pay yourself first because of our continuous inflation rate. That's number one. That is number one. After you might have done that, set it up and then. And then number two, always look for free things first. Free things first. There are some software that you can use. They are open source. Instead of paying for the license one, you can do that. Now, based on this one now, it's better you quickly communicate to the funding agency that, dear sir, when I budgeted for fueling to actually carry me for the road survey, budget at that time was the fuel price was 183 naira per liter. Now it has increased to 720 per liters. To do some of the funding agency we heard that there is no room for variation. So to me, discuss with funding agency. Okay, there's a question. I've seen a proposal where the team budgeted for books and journals. So is that appropriate? It depends on the funding agency. It is a function of the funding agency. What exactly do they want to fund? And then on the one I was discussing on the economic situation of a country, discuss with the funding agency. You may need to rescope the work or look for alternate funding to complete the work. Okay. We can have 1 or 2 more questions oral in order to round it up because I need to, by 12:30, I need to join another meeting and another presentation. So please, question, clarification, let me know. If you have any question, clarification, let me know. So you can take two questions by voice.